back to the Thursdays Are the Best Days podcast, episode 328. 9? 8? 2? 5? 9? 2?
9.
9. Last time was 8.
Sure was.
3, 2, 3 twos, or 2 threes is close to 9, but you're still missing a 3, so you have to find the 3 somewhere. So you go back to the first 3 and you say, well, if you have 2 threes already, you take the 2 and you just pretend it's a 3, and then you have 3 threes, and then you're up to 9, and then we're on episode 9 of the podcast. Welcome to the 9th episode of Thursdays Are the Best Days podcast. It is 20-something, 2017 probably. Harambe. What?
What is going on?
You know, man, Bruno, I did something today.
What did you do today?
I pissed off a church woman.
Oh no. How did you do that?
So, never lived in this house for a presidential election yet. And first I don't tend to vote in the non-election years. I apologize to the public of all that. I tend to go big and go home. But this was the first year I had to vote in a new polling place.
Yeah.
Basically the past every election I voted in a new polling place. I've not lived in one place for 4 years for the past 4 years.
Okay. Yep, fair.
So, my last polling place was in a elementary school.
Yeah.
This
Not
year
this
was
time?
in a church.
Oh, yep, church. That's where the church lady comes from. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Checks out.
get in line, standing outside, then I get inside, and I notice they're doing an at-will bake sale. I'll repeat the word at-will bake sale, which means anything is free technically, and you're supposed to make the donation for your quote-unquote purchase.
Yeah.
But it's at will, as you will. I'm standing in line, and they make you walk by the bake station, base, trying to get people to buy baked goods as they are standing in a long line. So I'm like, ooh, there's this loaf of cinnamon bread. Looks pretty good. It's the last one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I could use a little loaf of cinnamon bread. Just a little treat. So I'm looking at it, being like, I'm not gonna buy a loaf of cinnamon bread and then go in and have to sit with it while I vote. So I'm like, I'll swing out on the way back and walk by it again and pick it up if it's still there on my way out. So I know I do my thing. I vote.
Mm-hmm.
And I leave and I'm like, damn, that cinnamon loaf is still there. So I whip out the wallet saying, I have 20s and I have some 5s. I'm like, well, I'm not giving them a 20.
Yeah.
So I whip out a 5, pick up the cinnamon loaf. I hand it to the woman, and the look she gave me as I only handed her a 5 for this cinnamon loaf.
How big was it? It could
was
be a
it
whole
was
fucking loaf of bread for all I care.
No, it's small. You could cut into 3 small bite size, not bite size, but you could cut into maybe 3 miniature pieces, not miniature, but
Yeah. No, I think
two
I think I
two.
understand the size. Yeah.
I don't know, like a small baked tin, the small bake, not like a big bread tin, the
Mm-hmm.
smaller one that's just again, you could maybe cut into 3 ones and someone have a 2-3 bite piece of cinnamon
Yeah.
loaf bread. So I hand her the 5, I have the loaf in my hand, and she gave me such a look. She wasn't
Like
like,
what
"Oh,
was
thank you," or "bless you," or no holy church response of "You have a great day, sir." She just gave me a look, and I just turned away and walked away. She was mad I only gave $5 for that fucking cinnamon loaf. I'm like, "I bitch, this ain't no $20 cinnamon loaf. I don't know what you thought you were supposed to be getting for this. It wasn't."
I
It,
did I think 5 is excessive, to be honest with you.
I know.
Well,
I'm
maybe
like,
not anymore nowadays, but still,
I
yeah.
thought 5 was an acceptable amount for this little cinnamon loaf.
I
Uh,
agree.
like, I was like, it wasn't a cinnamon roll. It was a little loaf. It was and I'm like, all day, I'm like, that fucking bitch. Fucking Brenda at the bake sale was mad. I only gave her $5 for this loaf. Probably thought she was supposed to be getting 20 for it. Thought some old person would donate for it. I'm like, no, I'm not. She gets $5 for this. I leave in my car all day because I'm like, I'm not gonna try eating at work. I get home, I eat it. It wasn't even that good. It
Fucking
was more like
shit.
cake than cinnamon. There was barely a taste of cinnamon on it. Fucking, it wasn't even I
It's
saved someone from
ridiculous.
giving a $20 for this shitty ass loaf. I'm making up $20, but I feel like they were expecting people just to do big donations for the church. I'm like, I just wanted a little cinnamon loaf.
Yeah.
I could have taken that shit.
You could have. Maybe you should have.
I next time, next time I'm just gonna swipe and be like, sorry, Brenda, and just walk. I don't know if her name is Brenda, but it feels like
Felt right. Yeah.
felt right.
Um. All right. You know, that's a perfect segue, Nick.
Yeah.
Because I think I stole something recently.
The hearts of the people.
No, it was from you.
Oh boy. Oh yeah, I think I know what you stole, but I think I more forgot it than you stole it. So I was like, whatever.
I found a bottle of wine in my cooler. So I'm
Barrel
sure
aged.
I'm sure what the fuck is that?
Picture's too strong.
The picture is too fucking strong. What's going on?
Cast.
I'm sure you will hear about it later, but we were on a trip together recently. Yeah, you're talking about the cinnamon loaf pan that's like honestly, it's like a grilled drip tray is what it is.
Yeah, it like wasn't big by any means.
Yeah. I I'm following. Okay, VM. Thank you for denying every way I try to get this image. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Restart Firefox maybe.
Maybe
It's been open. Maybe it's just
it
not
was
having a good day.
paused. Maybe it got fucked up since I
Yeah.
paused the VM. Yeah. So you left a bottle of wine in my cooler. I had no idea you even put it there. To be honest with you.
I put it there because it was cold, so I wanted to keep it
Yeah.
cool.
No. That's
But then I forgot about it.
that's
It
fair.
should. It's barrel aged. You're gonna get that oakiness. You're gonna get that wood taste into it. Um, damn, no pictures today.
Jesus.
Um, that's a good one to whip out if you have like random company for the holidays.
I just might do that.
Thanksgiving, if you're hosting Thanksgiving this year.
So I appreciate the bottle of wine.
Yeah.
I'll pass it along somewhere.
I don't mean I think they have good wine. I don't quite love the winery itself in the Finger Lakes because I think their theming is bad. But they don't make bad wine. I don't like the theming of it. Seneca Shore.
Okay, attempt number 3. This is the third host that this image is. Nope. They're all. I think Discord is blocked somehow.
Damn.
So that's cool. All right, no pictures today. You just get to stare at our face.
Yeah, it's a winery that like it's called Seneca Shores. It's like supposed to be medieval theme, and I guess they put like a couple medieval things in their thing, but I think it's just like poorly. I think it's poorly done, and the theming, and it makes me like
Makes you upset.
it's just like go big or like don't like here's a picture. Copy image. I guess only you get to see it, but like I'm that's just
No,
that
I got this. You know what? I got this.
use a different browser.
I'm using my browser instead. Oh, shit.
Don't. It's not that important.
No, that was a me problem. I close Firefox because I have way too many tabs open. And then I clicked open in browser, and Firefox is my default browser, so it just opened them all back up.
Yeah. You should see
Okay.
my work computer.
I'm gonna be real with you, it might not be as bad as my computer.
Might not be. But I have them split because I have to have multiple browsers for SSO type related nonsense. So then I get stuck between loaded a bunch of tabs for different profiles.
Fair. Okay, I can see what you're saying about theming. Fucking cut a ship in half and put it in the lobby or something.
Yeah, and then
Like,
like
Get
This is
with it. Let's
this
go.
is the outside of the building.
I
Like
mean,
it's a pole barn, but like again, like
you
try.
know
I
what
don't know
that screams to me?
what.
Mural. Get some
Yeah,
like
could be a
graffiti
sick.
artist or something in there and just big canvas right on the side of it.
Now I
Paint
will
paint me a
say
ship.
I do associate this with anytime we go there, it tends to be the last day of our trip. So I also associate it with like just about getting ready to leave. So,
Fair.
but yeah, I again, the wine's not bad. It's not the wine that's the issue. If it was just a normal place and that was like a normal bottle and it was like just said, "Oh,
Yeah,
we're whatever," but it's like they just have this bad theming that leaves a bad eye taste. It's still a good bottle.
that's fair.
Large variety. They have a ton of wines. Um, but yeah, enjoying that. I do. You pulled away. I started looking around. Well, I got distracted also because my mother-in-law was home. I wasn't
Yeah,
expecting
you
that.
were kind of like off kilter from that a little bit.
Yeah.
It
So I
was
was
just like
like,
a surprise of like, huh, didn't know that was happening.
exactly. And then Madeline went to pick up groceries, and then the grocery lady knows me, and then she was sad I didn't show up. Fucking Tina. Um,
God damn it, Tina.
Tina's never having a good day. Tina, what was it? Last weekend, this past weekend, I went to pick up. There was three people. I was the third person, the third car. She was putting grocery. She had two carts for the two people ahead of me. I pull up and I'm like, I'm not gonna call right away because typically she's the only one that answers, and she's out here, so she's not gonna answer.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like yelling like, Nick, Nick. I pulled down my window. She's like, I see you. I know what car you drive. I'll be out. I'll be out in a second. Don't worry. I'm like, okay, Tina, you're good. Don't
I mean,
worry.
like that's great, but
Yeah, I normally bring up connections because then
oh
start.
yeah,
I
okay.
do connections while I'm doing it. Maybe the mini if I have time. Um, I had a jacket on. It was too fucking hot because apparently it's November and I can't even wear a jacket without being hot.
But it
Um,
was like 70 something today here.
somebody hotter tomorrow.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, you know, it's a good one. I do see the reason I brought that one was because um Madeline and I can both enjoy a Chardonnay, but she doesn't tend to like the oakiness of a barrel aged Chardonnay.
Mm-hmm.
When a majority of Chardonnays are steel, stainless
Yeah.
steel,
Yeah.
um, which is fine. I still like it. Don't get me wrong, but you do get like the barrelness of a barrel, but she doesn't like that like smoky, woody taste to it.
Mm-hmm.
So if I get a bottle of that, it tends to have to be like my whole bottle that I'll drink.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, ooh, this is a good excuse to drink a bottle of this someplace, but then I didn't actually drink it. But then, yeah. So that's why I thought you would like it because you already like things that are like in
Yeah,
barrels.
I could drink an oak barrel.
Exactly. So
Just fucking blend it up, man.
if there's some taste palette that's already going to appease your palate, it would be that palette. So I think
Yeah,
it works out in the end.
it's fair.
Um, man, we didn't even get to talk about the trip because we were cracktoried out.
I it's been bad, Nick.
I know. Can I make a couple comments on the trip for the next one that will get planned 20 weeks in advance at
Sure.
most?
Sure.
Bruno, I'm putting it out there in the universe so it's
Yeah.
remembered for next year.
Get them fingers tingling. What's up?
I next year am gonna bring a Costco size pack of utensils and paper plates, and I refuse to
Ooh.
reuse. I refuse. I'll buy the goddamn coffee cup things. I refuse to use the Airbnb utensils anymore.
Okay. What pit
It doesn't piss me
what
off.
took you off?
It doesn't piss me off, but like you and me definitely feel like we live different lives of like actually having to do like house related like
Yeah.
chores.
Yes.
Um, and the idea that like I'll do the dishes. I don't hate doing the dishes. One, if the Airbnb or Verbo doesn't have a sponge, that fucking pisses me off when I'm using a rag.
What
But
the fuck?
like
Yeah.
mind blowing that they don't have a goddamn sponge. But like, none of those guys are actually gonna do dishes. Which again, I'll do dishes. I don't care. But like, why are we making this problem for ourselves? Next year
That's fair. Yeah.
we're gonna have plastic utensils. We did have paper plates,
Yeah,
but
we did buy paper plates.
I'm gonna buy fucking paper plates, or plastic utensils, and then like maybe some like bigger disposable serving things, so Fee can put like eggs in a tin and we throw out the tin, and not like
Mm-hmm. Or like a platter paper
yeah,
product.
yes, like
Yeah.
and then we're just gonna not deal with dishes. I don't know how Fee somehow like nuked on that. I don't understand how that one pan was so bad that the eggs like fused to it.
I don't know.
Like that was the
Yeah. But yeah,
I
that
like
was bad.
I yeah. Well, I know we have to use pots and pans, but whatever. But like plates and silverware, no. No
Yeah,
mugs.
no.
We're gonna get like coffee cups, and then they're
I'm
gonna
with
deal with
you.
that. But I'm always trying to think of improve for their situation
Yeah.
of like I'm trying to think of anything else that stood out, and it's the fact that we're gonna take pizzas out of the cardboard box that don't need to be in the cardboard box because they don't fit in the freezer.
You know, it's sometimes it's funny seeing a glimpse into the life of somebody else. And I feel like this was one of those occasions.
Oh yeah. I what was another? Oh, I swear there's something on the tip of my brain. Um, no, I've lost it. Man, a lot of salt on that trip. A lot of sodium.
So much. I didn't even eat much, but
No,
God, between the two of us, we brought like a fucking box of salt with us.
at least 10 pounds of jerky.
Yeah, yeah.
And then most of the snacks they bought were like salt and Vinnies and chips and
You know, that did happen. I bought a
most.
bag of Doritos for myself, but that was like, I didn't eat much beef jerky. So I feel like I was like way in the clear still.
The all the meats were the lowest grade beef we could buy.
You know, I didn't even. For the for the tacos, it was fine because we could take some of that off, right? We made
Yes.
tacos. And I was looking at the meats in the store and I was like, huh, I can get 80/20. I could get like 3 pounds of that. Or I could get 5 pounds of the whatever the shit blend is. And it's
Which
like,
is better
huh.
value.
But it's like the same price.
Oh, I know. But
And it's like, well, if it's in tacos, we can just skim off the fat. It's not the end of the world.
oh, we need a big ass fat bucket.
We we filled many cans with fat,
There
which
was a lot of grease.
there was. But the
Um,
burgers, man, I don't ever want to buy cheap ass burgers ever again in my life. I don't think.
those things were just like fire.
That's
They
what that's what cheap burgers do.
I know. It's just hilarious how like
Especially when
flammable.
you're cooking like I don't know, 10 of them at a time. Dear God, they like to set a grill on fire.
Yeah, that was they were good, but they were like fucking. Fredo just had an inferno going like, yeah, they're charring up
No.
nice.
No, I've definitely done that, but like I bought a while ago I bought a box of burgers from Sam's Club
Hmm.
and I was like, "Huh. Well, they're nice looking burgers are just really fucking expensive. Or I could buy this box and I get like 4 more pounds of burgers." I'm like, "Hell yeah. I want burgers." Turns out it's like a 75/25 split or
God.
something. Yeah, no, it was terrible. I grilled some of them and it was like the whole grill was on fire. God, but yeah, no, it can be done. It just sucks.
No, yeah. Always trying to. I'm trying to improve their lives.
I definitely
Eat
think
what?
next time we get like some bananas and apples.
No,
I
come
think a
on.
couple, at least Burry would eat some.
I would eat too. I like I'll fucking
I
have a
know,
banana.
but like,
Um, I will say, beautiful country area down there.
oh yeah, it was beautiful.
Somehow we accidentally picked the best weekend the fucking year to go to
Yeah,
Vir- Virginia.
our schedules happened to line up with literally the best weekend of the year for fall foliage.
You know, cave.
Um, I'm gonna pull. The cave was fine.
Are you in Fredo's camp? You hated the cave?
I didn't hate it, but I only needed one. I don't think I'll ever go to another cave, but that's fine.
Oh, come on. Feet claim my cave was better.
What what was your cave?
The one I took him to when he visited
Oh,
down the one weekend.
okay. I'm pulling up some pictures of the house. I have like a picture overlooking the front yard. We had a little dock in the middle down by the river, by the Shenandoah River.
I don't
And
know
then I
how we
got
didn't do
another one looking
uh,
back up.
a Google satellite view of the distance between the house and the river, but I feel like that got missed somehow.
Oh no, I knew.
Oh, okay, you did know?
Oh yeah, I knew.
I wasn't aware. Not that, I didn't care. I was the one that just did the walk. I didn't like have to hop
Yeah.
into your bed.
I tended to drive a lot down, but that also was because most of the time I was putting a bunch of shit in the back of my truck to take down. You know? But yeah, I don't know how we keep finding places with death walks. Like, oh, look at this fire pit down by the water. Climb these 45 stairs.
Yeah,
That should have been 70.
should have been.
But, you know, it's it was nice. I think the house was fine.
No, it was a great house. I liked it. Um,
It was remote without being nowhere.
Also we find these gravel paths.
We do find gravel paths. My truck is now filthy again. But, you know, it's fine.
It's fine. Um, the oh the fucking best part for all of us was the abandoned house filled with cows.
Bro, Moo Moo Meadows was great. I wish I would have stopped to take a picture when we pulled in.
You know,
We never saw them cows back there.
there was this cow field pasture, and there was just an abandoned house, and all the cows were like fucking just loving this house. They were trying to get in, but there was a small pallet keeping them out, and it was the best thing ever. Those cows just wanted
It
to
was
chill.
great.
Um, a good trip. Can't wait to see how they like mentally think for the next one. But I'm sure we'll think about it at the
They're
last
gonna
moment.
be all over the fucking country.
Oh, I know. But
I could
you,
throw a dart at a map and have better luck than if you told me to pick where we're gonna go.
yeah. Um, but that is neither there or here or anywhere with a dart. But was that your thing you had, or did you have something else?
That was what I had. The
Ah,
the bottle of wine that I heisted from you somehow.
food heist.
Yeah.
Um, on a note that I mentioned previously mentioned is you're addicted.
Dude, it's so bad. I do you understand how bad it is? Like, have you looked?
So Bert and I have a yearly-ish tradition around the holiday season or the up into holiday season. Bruno and I get an itch for some Factorio, a game of which if I hadn't come into the scene, Bruno would have never been addicted. So I feel are in part responsible for
Oh yeah, you are. Yeah.
um one. I don't know how you didn't like it the first time, but
I just did break through to the good part, I think.
we're playing a game called Factorio.
Factorio.
New DLC, game changing DLC, not just an addition, game defining DLC where he defines the play style of the game.
Yeah, it's a pretty large addition to the game.
No podcast last week because we were deep in the factory, clocked in, time cards were being punched. I was talking to someone about the game today. I asked them
Yeah.
like, "Oh, have you ever played this game?" Because they were always asking me for game recommendations, and they're like, "Oh," I'm like, "Oh, it looks like there's a ton of mods for it." And I'm like, "Yeah, we don't tend to play it without like a good chunk of mods." They're like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, "Well, I think we tried to stick it down to like the lowest amount this playthrough, and I think it was like started 36, but I think it grew. So I'm like, I'm gonna say, and we always say we wish we had one or two more, so I'm gonna say like 45 is kind of like our base mod pack.
I think the number is actually lower than that this time.
Really, I thought this one had 36 when we started. We added a couple more, and I thought like we've talked like, oh, I wish we had this or that.
If you give me 5 seconds, I'll go look.
Oh yeah.
23.
Oh, okay. I was wrong. I don't know where I got 36
Yeah.
from.
But like, I could put 10 more in right now.
Oh, easily.
Yeah.
Like a mod I want, but I don't think we actually need. But like I thought about wanting is like I miss the better charging stations for the robots.
I would try and figure out if that's doable. I don't know how deep. No, I think that's just a mod. I think we could do that.
We don't actually need it, but at times
No,
it's
but
just like
yeah, no, I'm absolutely with you. I would put Hellmod in. I wish I could have found not enough items because I want it
yeah.
desperately. Um,
Is Hellmod the calculator one? The one you
Hellmod
put
is
in, I want.
the deep calculator one. Yeah.
Yeah, that one's nice. Just for that one feels like it should just be game. Like you should be able to just put in, I want this, and it tells you.
I wish it would have been a better like GUI on it. I
Yeah, it's
feel
not the
like
best.
it's bad.
It's not great, but it's better than nothing.
Yeah. But to give
But
you an idea of how bad the addiction is, we didn't play until we got back. And I'm very glad that we did that.
you've been Jonesing.
Um so the first available day, I think we started Monday. I don't think we did it Sunday. Did we?
We built the world on a day, and then
Oh
we
yeah,
built.
we that I think that might have been Sunday, but then we didn't start until Monday. It's Tuesday. We're doing this early cuz I'm not going to be around tomorrow. Um I have 64 hours in the past week and a day.
Damn. Damn.
Yeah, it's bad.
Mine's a little skewed because I fell asleep last night. Monday work hit me hard.
Yeah, that happens.
I saw you were still in the world, but you popped out of Discord, and I'm like, he's still fucking going.
You know, it's rough. It's rough out here.
So you see people. Bruno was feeling like an average. I think he could have took it or leave it up until the point where Bruno versus Goliath happened, and there was this goddamn worm that he didn't know how to kill through
I was
any
trying.
means.
I was working my way around. We were getting somewhere.
I helped him kill Goliath, and then
Yeah,
all hell broke
that
loose, and
was
then
you
Bruno's
broke the
deep into
dam is what happened. You literally broke the dam.
new items, new things. Bruno came in the next day, and it was a whole new factory. I didn't know what was happening.
Yeah, that was a bad night. I did a lot that night. I just started looking at it. It was like, hey, this can happen. We can do things now. And I did. And then that was it, man.
I don't even truly know why the game is good. I like the game. I enjoy the game. I don't
No,
truly
I'm
know
with you.
why
I don't understand why I love it so much.
and you and me love it for a lot of different reasons. To be honest with you, um, and you can base that off our play style. So Factorio is very much a. I'm not gonna say there's different ways to play it, but there's very much a. You can choose how you achieve what you achieve. So if you put Bruno and I in a
Let's
world,
back up just a little bit
yeah,
further for someone that has no clue. Factorio is a game. It's like a top-down game.
isometric.
Yeah, I would call it that. Yeah. Not yes, because it's not strictly top-down. It's isometric. Yes. And the original game's end goal was launching a rocket into space
With a satellite on it.
with a satellite on it. So you're building these little assembly machines, and you've got transport belts that transport items, inserters that grab items and put them into things, and you're basically chaining things together to create items. So let's say, you're trying to make green circuits. Green circuits go into a lot of things. Green circuits take copper cables and iron plates. Iron plates need to get smelted from iron. copper cables, you need copper plates, and then turn them into copper cables. That's a pretty basic recipe. They get very complicated at some points.
With
And
math.
like there's fluids and there's math. Like for green circuits, you need 3 assemblers making wires for every 2 assemblers making green circuits to make everything as efficient as possible.
Not needed, but very much wanted if you're going at scale.
Yeah, it's not like it's not the end of the world to be wrong with math, and you can definitely round in a direction, but like it depends on how deep you go. And at my playtime sitting at 745 hours, I tend to do the math, or at least get it close.
So there's ways to go about building different items that you want. There's Bruno's way, which is perfectly fine, awesome. That's how he wants to play it. Is he likes to figure the math out and design little things himself.
Yeah.
Layouts and stuff with efficiency, and that's the fun part of the game for him. I found that fun at first in the game, and then we started playing mods, and then like I got so far into it, I'm like, sometimes it's nice just to someone else designed a really perfect little tileable, which means you can stack them on top of each other or next to each other, and they just connect all nicely. Things for green circuits. Bruno and I were gonna build one. I'd probably go get a blueprint, slap that thing down, and I get satisfaction with just like building it. I get like, ooh, I need this, I'm gonna go craft this. Ooh, I need that, I'm gonna craft that. Ooh, we
Yeah.
need more iron. Put down this blueprint for iron or for miners, so I don't have to like drag across in a ghost build things, and I have to
Mm-hmm.
drag the power poles, and I have to drag the belts, and I have to drag. I'm like, I want iron. I'm just gonna go get iron, just slap it down, build it up, do that. Money ways to enjoy the game. Some people don't like. I like big, because I know what Bruno's gonna ask me, and it's like, oh, I need more of this. So I tend to go like, well, he's probably gonna ask me for a bunch of X. Ooh, one of this per second output. That seems like it'll be good enough for him. Blueprint puts down massive. Bruno's like, what is all this? Why is this big? What is this doing? I'm like, I don't know.
And some of that's me just giving you shit, and
But
like you say, later me probably very much appreciates what you put down.
so I like finding the fun shit like a nuclear reactor. Very complicated and intense
Oh, I
setup to
will
have.
never make a nuclear reactor. No
I
shot. I
slot
tried it
I
once, no shot.
Bruno's like, fix power, Nick. I'm like, okay, I'll fix power. So I find a blueprint book with 3 different sizes reactor. One that would still be double what we need right now. One that would be like, yeah, this is all we need, and then like, you don't need this at all. Why did you build this? So out
Yeah.
of the 3, I build the why do you need this?
Yep, he sure did.
And
You were gonna handcraft all them fucking steam turbines too.
I would have sat there. That's part of the fun for me too. I would have sat there just collecting materials,
God.
running around, handcrafting all that shit.
God.
That's the fun part for me. I'm like, ooh, I'm gonna go craft this. Ooh, I need more of this. I need to go grab more
I'm
copper.
sorry I took your fun away, man. That
It's
sounded
not.
like hell to me.
It's the way you and me enjoyed the game. Um, no, I didn't have to do it. And I watched the robots do it. And it's fun, but like,
I
I'd have.
last night I worked on a pretty big project, I would say. So, you've been egging me on to put down this fucking massive belt production blueprint.
Woo!
So last night we did. Speaking of, it's ready.
Oh, is it now?
I left one transport belt off of the green and red circuits.
We're gonna hook that thing up, and you're gonna see wonders happen.
Um, in fact, some of it might be running already. Now that I think
Probably
about it,
the
because
iron
I
stuff.
connected the iron in.
Yeah, all the gears.
So this thing takes a metric fuck ton of iron to make work, because I don't know how much it produces. It's got to be an insane number.
Of belts, it's supposed to produce a couple belts a second, which they're not quick crafting. It produces a bunch, like the blue stuff, I
God,
think.
yeah. I don't know what it's doing, but it's doing a lot of something. Um, and I decided, okay, we're gonna train iron in instead of fucking around. Trains, iron plates. So I went crazy with the rail network, and I made an iron smelting station that throughputs 4 blue belts at a time, which each blue belt is 45 items a second times
Quick.
4.
Was the
So
quickest belt in the game.
it was. Not anymore. Speaking of, I made a new ship. See, this is what happens. All kinds of shit happens. I made a new ship and I sent it to that other planet. First off, it's way too fucking quick. I put too many thrusters on it.
Hits things too often.
It if I don't stop it, it literally bowls through shit. So that's a problem.
More turrets.
Yeah, but like it the time between turret and ship is the problem though.
Railguns.
Okay, great. We need to go to another planet for that.
Yeah.
I've been trying to stick to these 2 planets for a day or two, okay? I was trying to hold off, all right?
Yeah, okay. Space Explorer Bruno.
I you distracted me with iron and I wanted to make a new ship. Now I have a new ship that's somewhat capable. I just need to put a fucking governor on it apparently. Um I have the transport belt. I think I told my ship to request like 1,000 of it.
Damn.
And accompanying undergrounds and splitters.
Gonna have quick belts.
Yeah.
Do you know what the items per second is?
I'm assuming 60, but I'm not sure.
Makes sense.
Quick.
I think it's what their increments of.
A yellow's 15, and then
Yeah.
red is double, blue is add a yellow belt. I think.
Makes sense.
Remember when modded had 6 belts?
They had like the ultra. I don't even know how like fast those were.
Yeah. Uh 15, 30, 45, 60. So yes.
Makes sense.
It does. But it's from yellow to red, it's like holy shit, we're zooming. But then it's like, oh, that's an upgrade, I guess.
Yep.
You know?
Oh yeah. Um. I had another comment on that. Oh, it was fact. No fact. Thing related. It is item related. It is not robot related. Which we do love robots, and robots do little things. Fun. They hop around
Speaking of
everything
robots, we need to get more robots in our home base.
to send up.
No, just to have.
Oh. Yeah.
I want to see that number get bigger.
Oh, it was train related. I just don't understand trains, and then Bruno's really good at trains.
I'm getting deep into trains this time.
And then when
My
Bruno and I
train,
built a fact.
my trains are smart this playthrough.
Oh,
They only come to stations when they need to.
oh.
I don't know if you've noticed that yet.
When Bruno and I build factories, our differences in factory building can be somewhat easily mitigated with like out much issue. Like the way we put stuff down. Like we typically can work around each other's like build
Yeah.
style of like factories. If I even attempted trains, it would not mesh with Bruno's nice network of trains.
No, yeah, my trains are pretty.
Yeah, he puts
Well,
down they're
this playthrough they're not so pretty. There's a cluster where I probably shouldn't have made things with trains, so all the intersections are too close together. That's my problem right now.
need some byways.
I need a big ass deconstructor plan and just nuke everything around our base.
But I don't touch trains. I try to get everyone else to learn trains, so I don't have to learn trains, and I
You
can just
have
be
been
like,
pushing the trains hard.
well, because I know I'm like, oh, I need this here, and I'm like, ah, man, I'm not. It's like Bruno's doing something, and I don't want to have to just like drag him away just to connect it for me. So I'm like, ooh, if I get like Dit or her to learn trains enough, then I'll be like, hey, her, you looking for something to do? He'd be like, yeah, or Dit. I'm like, hey, connect this up with trains. And they're like, yeah, sure. And I'm like, yeah, okay. Then I run away and do something else.
Yeah. You tried that with Dit and then he left for WoW. So I
He
connected it
did.
up.
What do I need? What do you need help with? Oh, learn trains. No. Fuck. So, I'm
And
still
then
trying to pawn that one off on people.
and then I went crazy and made that fucking iron station. That thing's. Have you looked at that? Because you should.
No, because I saw. Well, I saw you had the thing to unload, but then you started going off and building this goddamn intricate like Celtic knot loop thing, and then I'm like, oh god.
Yeah, I went a little crazy.
And then you kept
Oh,
connecting them up
so
and
they also added uh
bridge
raised
train, like
rails.
yeah.
Like you have 2 levels of rail now. So people are going crazy making blueprints and stuff and a lot of changes. Trains.
Trains. I like trains in games, just not that one.
You know?
I lie. I think satisfactory trains are even worse.
They are bad.
But I think like the whole concept. I think I don't hate that game, but I just hate concepts of that game. And it's like the trains are massive, if I remember right.
They were big and they were unruly and you couldn't make them nice. And they were like buggy with their placement. It
Oh,
was just a
ore
whole
patches were
mess.
shitty in that game.
That too.
But yeah, fun game. We'll putter ourselves out till next year.
I think we still have a decent little bit to
Oh, we
go.
do. At this point you're steamrolling.
Yeah. I'm trying not to steamroll through progression though, if that makes
No, but just
sense.
like
I did a
uh
little bit the other night though when I did
yeah.
that whole shit on that planet. There were too many problems, Nick. We needed solutions.
I guess that the back to the bane of like I guess that's why we enjoy it is just like it is a very much a it's the I guess I would equate it to the Terraria effect, where it's like grind to get uh gold. What I can't remember like the first set of armors, but I'm just gonna say gold.
I
And
think
then
that's the top tier of the pre hard mode, or yes.
so you fight boss to get pickaxe to mine better ore to get better armor to get better boss to get better armor to get better
Yeah.
pickaxe to get better. It's like that pure just like, which is why not Terraria feels like empty at the end of the game. Like the whole fun of the game is like, ooh, it's time for Bruno to get pick me armor, so he gets the little pick me summons to
Yeah.
fight one boss or two bosses. And then once those two bosses are fought, then you move on and say, nope, this armor's dead to me now. I want to get
Yeah,
demon armor.
no, absolutely. Yeah.
And then you use that armor, and then it's just I guess it's that very much a you just want to hit that next stage. You want robots, then you want nuclear, then you want now science, now you want to get this planet, then you want tungsten from this planet, then you want
Then you want artillery, and it turns out it's dog shit.
then you see, oh, I want purple science because I want the mech suit, and then you go get purple science for the mech suit or light pink, magenta.
Yeah. And that's where I'm at right now. I want that science.
Yeah.
But I'm fighting.
Fun game. Recommend. It's highly rated on Steam and as should be.
It's one of the highest. Let me go look quick if I can find it. I know it was like number 3 for a long time. And then they said something online and people review bombed it.
As is the internet.
Never have a sale though. You will never see a sale from them.
Nope. What you see is what you get.
I can't tell, man.
It's fine.
I know. I don't know where to find the page is the problem.
Because I just go home like top sellers.
I'm not looking for the I'm looking for like based on sort by user reviews. No. I know there's a page somewhere.
Right now on Steam for global top sellers, it's 14th behind Call of Duty, the new Call of Duty, Apex Legends, Counter-Strike, Steam Deck, which isn't even a game, but it is Steam Deck. Throne and Liberty? Don't know what that is. Boulder Gates 3. Planet Coasters 2, Isaac Isaac Rebirth, Dragon Age Vanguard. Oh, that just
Um,
dropped. So that one's up there.
as of right now, it is number 75 on the list of reviewed Steam games. It is 95.6% positive.
Hard to get better.
It is. And the crazy thing is, it was better. I think it was like 97 or 98 for a while.
Yeah, no. So
And then I can't remember what exactly happened, but they pissed people off. But it happens.
Probably be a game we play to years to come. Good mods for it. Great modding community.
Oh,
Any game.
I would say one of the best modding
Yes.
communities.
Amazing template. It's very Minecraft-esque, and the base game is good, but the base game is a great canvas of which you can paint a better picture from with better paints.
Yeah. And they always have tried to embrace that modding side.
Very contrasty to like popular, like again, I go always back to Terraria. Like for Terraria being Terraria, horrible modding community. They have some good mods, but like there's like a couple
It's not
good mods.
great. Yeah.
For the popularity and the belovedness of the game.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying it's easy to mod the game, but it's definitely been done to a big, like the two mods there are big and very much like feel like they're good.
But that's about all there is really for game-changing mods is like 2.
Yeah.
Whereas with Factorio, there's Bob's mods, there's Angel's Petrochem, there's Pyanodons. There was, I don't know if it's still a thing actually because of this DLC now, but there was the space exploration mod, which is basically what this DLC is.
Yep.
But the DLC being made by them is like very high polish, you know.
Yeah, that mod has to either expand upon. I think they need to take what they have now and try to expand upon it. But I think if they would do something with that mod, it'd be like Space Age Plus, like adding more to what the game already has provided for them.
Yeah. There's just a lot of options with Factorio.
And those games mods that Bruno did list are not just like new things to craft. They completely rework the game from its core fundamental aspects.
Yeah, I would call them like an overhaul mod. Like, the only ones that work well together are Bob's and Angel's. Other than that, I would not play 2 of those together.
No, it's very incompatible.
Because of how big they are.
That's
and how changing they are.
To rant on Terraria again, that's the other shitty thing about the 2 Terraria mods is you can't play them together because one is very much, they're not scaled to each other.
And the balance is weird too, yeah.
So when you play both together, you basically build
you
all
end
the gear
up
from one mod.
You only use one basically.
You use the gear from one mod, then you fight both bosses, but like the one mod gear is so good that you just nuke the other mods. Which I think you did end up playing both individual at one point.
Yeah, we've done both individually before. Yeah.
Not me, but like you and Burry, I think have both played those mods individually.
Yeah.
Because you guys play that game too quickly now.
It's the same fucking thing as Factorio, man. I get sucked in. Factorio just takes longer to finish. That's the only difference.
Always with the nostalgia. I wish we could go back in time with a Terraria and like when we were not bad at it, but we were slow at it. Because there was like a time, like a couple number of years ago when it took us a week to play the game of like everyone hopping on and playing together.
Mm-hmm.
But it was like a grind, but it was a slow grind, and it was fun. It was just now if Burry said, "Hey Bruno, you want to play Terraria?" and you guys start up at like 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, you're probably gonna be decently a chunk into the game by like first time you get.
We'll be in hard mode next game, like next time we play.
I'd say 4 days max before you guys are towards end game.
Yeah. And some of that is our own fault, honestly.
No, it's
because we enjoy. The other thing though is we usually have things like we let ourselves have a lot of accessories, which we enjoy because we want all the things, but that makes us pretty powerful, which means we steamroll shit. And if we have the Fargo's mods on, it's fucking game over. Because we'll sit there for like 6 hours crafting something that just gives us all kinds of shit.
Oh yeah. Condense these 10 items into one item, and then it uses
10.
up one slot.
Add a 0.
100 items.
Yeah.
I was thinking of things like when they had like the better shield, when you combine like all the shields and you're immune to like
Yeah.
everything.
Like the Ankh shield. Yeah.
Yeah.
But then the Ankh shield becomes this thing, and that becomes
Well,
this thing.
put it on your phone and you get like a special, then you only have to use
Yeah.
that in your phone.
Yeah.
Um, good, 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 good game tangent right there. Um, uh, oh, only because I want to talk about it because of how like brain bashing it was.
Yeah.
Um, you and me love a good rain weather F1 race.
I do tend to enjoy them because they go a little crazy.
The last F1 race, which was in São Paulo, Brazil,
Yep, sure was.
probably one of the hardest races to watch since the Australian Grand Prix 2 years, not last year, this year, but the year before.
Okay.
If you remember that one when there was only like 7 cars finished.
Oh, yeah, they were really bad. Yeah.
I've never this race had to be the race that like the most the most drivers just randomly going off the track all the
Yeah.
time consistently,
Like, well, okay, first off, they delayed qualifying. So qualifying and the race was the same day.
which is
And then
bad.
in qualifying it was raining. And how many cars crashed out? Like 5?
Oh yeah. Two Williams, both Aston Martins, I think, a Ferrari,
Yeah. So they had all these cars that the mechanics had to rush to fix in like 3 hours. Or
2 of them
some
didn't fix.
exactly. And then the race started, and on the formation lap, one of the Aston Martins spun out.
And then like lap whatever, another person spun. It was like every couple laps there was just another
Yeah.
person spinning out, and it just delayed the whole thing. They had to
And
like just
like I don't hate it that much because we don't watch it live. If I was watching that live, I would have been pissed.
yeah.
Like we just skip ahead. We say, "All right, somebody crashed. Great. When did the car start moving again?"
Man, I just doing the commentating for that event when you're like live and those guys have to sit there the whole time just talking about nothing for every damn
Yeah.
stop.
Yeah. Well, they just keep they're on repeat, and that's why we skip because it's bullshit.
Um, but one of the harder one, it was one. There's 2 times I've dipped out of a race early. One was this one, and the
Yeah.
other one was that Australian Grand Prix where I'm like, we watched that one live, and I'm like, I can't. It was like 1 a.m. I had to like go to work the next day. I'm like, it
Yeah.
stopped again. I'm just like, I'll fucking look up the results. I can't stand. That was a weird one because it was live, which we couldn't just skip through all the stuff.
Um, you got another opportunity for a live one.
Vegas,
Yeah.
night Vegas, which I think means it starts at like 10 p.m. for us.
Qualifying and the race start at 1 a.m.,
Oh,
but
that late.
it's shifted backwards a day. It's
Oh,
1 a.m. Saturday, so Friday night, basically,
yeah. Okay.
and Saturday night.
I
So
forgot about that.
if you would like to do live, we
Yep.
could. If when is that? Is that like when's Thanksgiving? Is this year late Thanksgiving?
Latest ever. Not ever, but like the latest it can be.
Latest possible. Oh, so the race is before that. Okay, it's the weekend before.
Next 2
The
weekends away.
Yeah, it's the 23rd and 24th.
Yeah. Man, while you brought that up, I absolutely despise a late Thanksgiving.
You've mentioned this. I I don't think I've really cared but when I think about it, my head agrees with you.
So the
Why push
Thursday,
all the holidays together?
so Thursday, uh, 31st was the last day of October, which means Friday was November 1st, which means you've already just lost you lose an early Thursday to count for the fourth Thursday of the month. So this is the latest a Thanksgiving can be when you have a first being a Friday. That pushes Thanksgiving up to a whole week later than other years. So you lose a whole week between Thanksgiving and Christmas, pushes those holidays into a very compressed state.
Yeah.
It makes November feel like Thanksgiving super far away. And I mentioned this the other day, and some people thought I was wild. But like I enjoy Thanksgiving way more than Christmas, just because the idea of family getting together and doing stuff without the expectation of gifts and like this, that, the other thing is so much easier on Thanksgiving just to get together and enjoy the day than it is with having to deal with all the Christmas
I
nonsense
have
and
always enjoyed Thanksgiving. I don't know if I can put it above Christmas because I do enjoy Christmas.
Christmas is good, but there is a lot more expectations with the holiday.
Oh, absolutely. 100% there is. And I completely understand what you're saying. I just don't know if I fully agree with putting it above. Thanksgiving's a good holiday. I get my Thanksgiving leftover. I had a gobbler from Wawa like a week and a half ago or something. I was
Yeah,
disappointed. It
why?
wasn't. I think my brain makes them taste so good.
And it wasn't that good.
Yeah.
As good as your brain was telling you it should be.
Yeah.
That's always sucks.
Absolutely. It was
I'm
still
still waiting for the.
fine, but
I'm still waiting for my goddamn Wawa near me. It's still every day I look at the sign saying, "Oh, Wawa coming soon." Haven't even fucking started anything soon. Um,
I was pissed though. Last year they had Hoagie Fest, right?
yeah,
$6 normal sized hoagie. That's pretty good.
you don't really get too much better nowadays.
No. This year they have it again. The goddamn gobbler isn't available with that Hoagie Fest.
They're telling you no, pay full price for
So
a gobbler.
it, I could buy like an Italian sandwich for $6, or I can spend 9 for a gobbler.
That's rough in comparison.
It is. I was pissed.
Yeah. The other shitty thing about me wanting it to be Thanksgiving is that um one, Thanksgiving is better now. Not that I don't like the big family, but right now with how my family is all developed with like passing ons and stuff, it's now just like my parents, my brother,
Hmm.
and if Madeline is off, like it's a very much a just there was a span of years when we were younger where Thanksgiving ended up being like 25 people at my grandparents' house,
Yeah,
and
they get crazy.
that ended
It's a
up being
lot.
like annoying. Now it's just like, oh, I get together like parents and brother, and like if like Madeline has to work this year, so what I do is I go down to my parents by myself. Um, I pack her like a like I bring a big old tin and I do a whole
You bring
leftover
a
stuff of
plate
like
for
yeah,
basically. Yeah.
yes. But this year it goes Thursday Thanksgiving, Friday Black Friday we fly out down to Florida.
Oh, that's right, your cruise.
Yeah, so and we're going. I think did I go on the whole tangent where it was like we were we cruise out on Sunday, so we were gonna fly in on Saturday to be there a day early just to be safe.
Yeah.
Um, but then when I was looking at plane prices, it was cheaper to fly in. It was about $100 a person cheaper to fly in on Friday than it was on
Mm,
flying on Saturday. And the money we would save flying in on Friday would pay for the hotel room to stay Friday night,
that
which
sounds
makes
like
it
a
a
net positive to me.
the only thing it really affects is the fact that we get an extra quote unquote day of vacation
Yeah.
because we have a whole Saturday in Florida before the cruise instead of a half Saturday in the Floridian
Instead of
cruise.
it being a travel day, it's a Florida day.
Yes. So again, net positive or net neutral-ish on money, but like net positive on like a day of vacation.
Yeah.
Um,
You can chill in a hotel room somewhere nice and
or
warm.
we'll spend the whole day at the beach in South Beach,
If you're close
Miami.
enough. Oh yeah.
Oh,
Absolutely. Yeah.
we are,
Oh, that I remember the map. Yeah, you're
yeah,
pretty
like
close. Yeah.
so. Uh, Now it's gonna be like Thanksgiving morning.
That's gonna be a
Well,
busy day.
yeah. So
A
like
busy
Thanksgiving
like week.
morning, and then like Black Friday morning, we have to do the whole packy pack.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, that's the other thing that's pushing Thanksgiving of like I want it sooner, but it's just a late one. So and now we're on daylight savings happens. So my I know I've talked about this multiple times in the past, but I want to look up the date just to be sure because I think it gets affected by leap year, winter solstice. 24. I think it vary between the 21st and the 22nd. Maybe it never falls on the 22nd. However, we are now on our official countdown to December 21st,
Oh God.
which is the winter solstice.
Yep.
Whereas right now it gets dark early and it gets dark earlier and earlier until December 21st when it gets better. And it's the best day because every day
What
gets a
day of the
little bit
week
more
is
light.
it?
It's a Saturday.
Oh, not the best day.
No, but it's one of the best days of the year.
Fair.
So
Um,
the bad count. We're in the bad phase. These 2 months are always my bad months.
I know you don't like them. I know that. Just recently, I made sauerkraut. That happened.
I was gonna say it should be. It should be. You need the
It's
what?
past due. Honestly.
Okay. I remember asking you about it, and you're like, "Ooh, is it soon?" But I was a couple weeks early, but I knew it was
Yeah.
had to be like
I
fermenting
wanted.
time.
Basically, I wanted to do it the weekend that we went on the trip, but it became impossible because I go to Green Dragon to get cabbage, but they're only open on Friday, so it got
Oh,
pushed. It got pushed a week back. So it's okay.
how many pounds or how many heads of cabbage did you buy?
I bought 10 and I used 8, but I only did a 5-gallon crock this year. Heads
Oh,
were small this year.
I was gonna say typically you have like a good double that, or am I wrong with that one?
Um, the first year when I did the 2 crocks, I have a 5 and a 3-gallon. The first year I
Oh,
did that, I bought 12 heads and I used 10. The next year I bought 10 and I used 9, but they were massive.
I remember that year you were like, "Look at these things," and I'm like, "Damn, those are big."
They were like 10-pound cabbages.
Yeah,
They were like
yeah,
they were like this big.
yeah. I
Honestly,
remember
this big.
you were like, "I don't need this much cabbage."
Yeah.
I remember the second crock was I was gonna say 10, but I'm like, I don't think he has two fives, but that makes sense. It's a five
No,
and a three.
it's a 5 and a 3. I bought the 3 to try and do pickles, and that I don't think I'll ever do pickles. Just I don't think so. I don't think it's for me.
2 years you'll try it again.
They were really bad.
You're so excited
So
about them.
we'll see. I mean, like they were just chilling, they were pickling, man, and then I took them out, and it was like a fucking jellyfish made out of salt.
Ooh. Um. So the cabbage is sitting and fermenting, turning into kraut.
Cabbage is fermenting. Cabbage do be rotten.
That's
Did like
that's
a
when you know it's.
full deconstruction clean of my slicer.
Oh, you use the slicer for the cabbage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's good use for it.
It is. It works well. Let me tell you, this thing munches through some cabbage.
I was gonna say probably over there just going wow
It's
wow
like
wow wow
15
wow.
seconds and a half a head of cabbage is gone.
Yeah, that's crazy. Do you do thick or do you try to get it like spindly or do you try to do like thick chunks?
It's it's a hair larger than my beef jerky slices.
But like so there's different types of kraut. There's ones that are like all
Sure.
spindly, like very little spin, like very little, not
I'm
noodly,
like
but I'm
somewhere in between, I would say.
okay. Because then there's the ones that are just like big old fat chunks of.
Yeah, and I try not to have the big fat chunks.
Okay.
Um, I cut a cabbage in half, take the bad leaves on the outside off, core the center because there's a big hard spot in the center.
Yep.
So I have halves of cabbages, slice it, pretty thin.
Yeah.
It ends up being pretty stringy. Yeah.
Again, there's many people prefer
Oh, I
many
know.
different things.
Yeah.
I prefer a sweeter sauerkraut than a more acidic one, but that's just my preference.
I think I tend to like the more sour ones, but mine tend last year it came out sour, but I tend to get sweeter ones. I think it all depends on cabbage.
It does.
I'm very interested in how this is going to turn out because I think we've been through a drought for a while. I have no clue what the hell it's going to do to cabbage.
Yeah, I know. I think a more authentic German sauerkraut is more sweet, and then like Pennsylvania Dutch uh
Mm-hmm.
is a more sour. But
Yeah,
like same thing, different kind of tastes the way over the
yeah.
years. Um,
Maybe I should look it up because I have absolutely no fucking idea how you change that.
I it's
Because
the same.
literally all I put in is salt and cabbage. I don't know what else there is.
Insert. No one wants to hear about it. White guy goes to a European country and makes it their personality. But I wasn't a huge sauerkraut guy until I did go to Germany and I tasted it, and I'm like, man, it just had a whole different flavor profile, and it was a very much more sweet one. It was described that yeah, German sauerkraut tends to be on the sweeter side, and that's when I learned that um, PA Dutch just went more acidic, which I'm assuming is just related to um, God. I learned there's like differences.
So, going back to Factorio, I'm sorry. I have to. I just got a DM from Dit because Dit is playing on our server. Dit was putting a nuke on his spaceship. Um, and I let him do it because what do I care if it blows up? It's in space. Um, he might have a critical heat failure nuclear reactor going on right now in the spaceship.
Crazy, he just put it down without any research.
And I've been adamant about I will never build a reactor myself because
Not without
I'm
half our
too
base.
dumb for it.
Not without our base disappearing.
I'm too dumb for that shit. These people are too good. They they make everything smart. They make it safe.
They add lights.
They had light. I like lights. Speaking of lights, that reminds me, I gotta get to some pixel art some one of these days.
Okay.
Do you remember my? I put the five
Oh,
head.
yeah. Yes, I forgot it. I completely. You just unlocked a core memory in my mind. Yes, I forgot about that.
One of our
Uh,
modded playthroughs, I made pixel art in Factorio with a blueprint.
um,
I don't even understand how it works.
it's a whole part of the game you and me just don't like touching.
Those react? Fuck no. I am not nuke qualified.
Bruno starts putting things down that builds my nuclear reactor for
I'll
me.
shoot him out of my rocket.
Things start building in different orders. Bruno's all worried. I'm like, oh, don't worry. I think it's all fine. I'm
It
like,
started up when it wasn't done being built. I got scared, okay?
and I told him as long as there's more green lights than red lights, I think we're fine.
Yeah, but there was a red light, and that seems like a problem.
Yeah, but the red light bar had 1 of 10, and the green light was like 8 of 9 green, so it seemed like, or 8 of 10 green, so it was fine. But anyways, that's an easy Thursday, packed in the books. We're gonna wrap that with a holiday bow. Now that we've hit the season, I see Christmas trees and Christmas lights out. I think I'm 2 weeks away from Christmas lights. Told I need to put them out early because Madeline doesn't want to not see him for 2 weeks, so I have to put them out early to make up for those 2 weeks we're not gonna be home to see him.
Yep.
So I'm not this weekend, but probably next weekend away from putting them all out. But any more to add for this glorious Thursday?
Nope. That's all I got.
Well, that's good because that's all we have for this week's episode of Thursdays Are the Best Days podcast. Thanks for listening and goodbye.
See you later.